Here. These people wrote a letter how bad a boy he is.
Call the meeting to order. If you call the roll, please, Margie.
Email.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah. They take a while too. Can't just do those things in 5 minutes.
Councilman Sabo. Councilman Wolford.
Here.
Councilman DeFlippo. Councilman Hudson. Councilman Strider.
Here.
Councilman Lilly.
Here.
Councilman Reimer.
Here.
Councilwoman Walker. Here. Mayor Mullins.
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
Y'all please stand. Councilman Reiner, will lead us in a word of prayer.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together here this evening. We thank you for this beautiful day you've given us and to watch care over us and let each one of us be here. We're thankful for each one, the visitors. We ask, dear God, you be with us in our meeting tonight. Be with the Shirky family, dear God, tonight. And comfort them, but also warn, dear God, only you can comfort them in this time of sorrow. These things I ask in your name.
Thank you, Council. Please remain standing for pledge of allegiance. Margie.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, please. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion passes. City's monthly financial statement. Councilman Sabo.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept it as it was presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Walker. Any discussion on that? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Petitions, communications, and public hearings. If you read the title, please, Marty.
Mayor.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, what I don't have on the agenda is to recognize.
Yeah, I knew that.
On there last.
Yeah, we'll just do it at the end.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
thank
fine.
you.
Okay, thank you. An ordinance to approve and adopt current replacement pages to the Charter and City Code of the City of South Charleston from October the 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2019.
This is second reading, so is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lilly. Any discussion or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item B, if you'd read the title, please, Margie.
An ordinance to update the traffic code of the City of South Charleston, including additions and amendments thereto, and to approve and adopt current replacement pages to the city code.
Is there a motion to adopt this one?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Walker. In case anybody wants to know, this is just kind of housekeeping stuff we're doing to get our code up to date with state code. Basically, we got to do from time to time. So, okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, well, item C, Margie. Got so much going on, I can't follow where I'm going here.
Sorry.
That's all right.
An ordinance to update the general offenses code of the Code of the City of South Charleston and to approve and adopt current replacement pages to the city code.
Is there a motion to adopt this one?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right. Item D is to approve Board of Canvassers report for the levy on February the 7th. There's a motion to do so.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this one?
I'm sorry, who's the second?
Ann. Any discussion on this one?
And we're passing around they have to sign.
Yeah, I'll get that right now. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Everybody's got to sign this. It'll be passed around to you.
Before you can read.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, sis.
That's all right.
Okay, item E, if you'd read the resolution, please, Margie.
Resolution authorizing city officials to take any and all actions necessary to accept a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice for the City of South Charleston Police Department and to further administer the grant as required by the grant agreement.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Chief, you got anything on this?
This is for the laptop computer.
Laptops. No, it's something we get every year. It just varies. This one I think was almost 16,000 when we're buying laptops, and there's just a little bit of a difference. You always go over in your spending, and that's what those.
You got a thumbs up behind you. You must have got the number right.
Raider.
They must have been worried about you getting that one right. I saw a thumbs up back there.
He did the grant.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Where am I at, Margie? F?
Yes, sir.
Item F, if you'd read the title, please.
An ordinance to amend Section 11 of Article 505 of the City Code of the City of South Charleston concerning dangerous dogs.
Is there a motion to pass on to a second reading?
I make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wolford. Michael, this is just, we had some dates and things.
Yeah, we've had some dog
Dress up.
issues in the city, and when we went back and looked at some of the ordinances applying to these situations, they really didn't have timeframes contained therein. And I think Raider, maybe some others, had noticed that in looking at this a few years back. So it's more or less a housekeeping matter to provide some timeframes within which the owner of dangerous dogs has to act, and then we can hold their feet to the fire. So again, more or less a housekeeping matter.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item G, if you'd read the resolution, please, Margie.
A resolution authorizing the city to submit a proposed deferred retirement option program for employees of the South Charleston Fire Department to the Municipal Pension Oversight Board for analysis and approval.
Let's get this on the floor. I have a comment to make. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman Lilly. This resolution doesn't mean we're adopting the drop program at this point in time. This just authorizes us to order an actuary to be done. Correct, Rick?
That's correct. Actuary has to be done then. The Municipal Pension Oversight Board has to tell us yes or no, you can do it.
Right.
And then if they say actuarial study is okay, they say you can do it, then council can consider adopting it by ordinance.
And I have met with both police and fire department representatives, and they're both supportive of us moving forward for the actuary. So everybody seems to be on board where we're at least for right now. So we'll see what happens from here on out. Okay, we have a motion and a second. If y'all have any questions in the meantime about this drop program, feel free to stop by and see us, and we'll try to answer any questions you may have about it. Or give us a shout. Okay, any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Moving right along. Consideration of any bids. Councilman Sideball.
Yes, sir, we have two this evening. The first is a motion to accept municipal lease purchase proposal for the ice arena equipment. The Finance Committee of the South Charleston City Council has met and considered the following proposal, which was obtained in accordance with the purchase policies of the City of South Charleston, and after careful consideration is the recommendation of the Finance Committee to award the following proposal: municipal leasing consultants, equipment lease purchase, $400,000 at a fixed rate of 2.97% for 4 years as outlined in the attached proposal. This is an emergency purchase and financing of equipment that is essential for the continued operation of the South Charleston Memorial Ice Arena, and there are funds budgeted for the lease purchase agreement in the line items of the arena. This lease purchase agreement is subject to the annual appropriation of city council and is not long-term debt of the city. Again, this is a motion to accept the municipal lease purchase proposal.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wolford. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please, Morris.
Councilman Sabol?
Yes.
Councilman Wolford?
Yes.
Councilman Strider?
Yes.
Councilman Lilly?
Yes.
Councilman Reimer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Walker?
Yes.
Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
Okay, that vote is unanimous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Councilman Hudson. You're not here.
Anything else, Jamie?
Yes, sir. We have a motion to accept a recommendation for the architectural services for the new fire department. The Finance Committee of the City of South Charleston met and considered the following recommendations, which were made in accordance with West Virginia Code 56-1-4 for the selection of the engineering and architectural service, and after careful consideration, it is the recommendation of the Finance Committee to award and make the following designation of rankings on November 6, 2019. Number 1, Williamson and Shriver. I need to list them all.
No, you're fine.
Williamson and Shriver has provided the attached scope of work and fee proposal, and the Finance Committee recommends that the scope of work and fee schedule in the amount of $94,655 be awarded to Williamson and Shriver Architects Incorporated. This is a motion to accept.
Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilman Reimer. And this, of course, is to eventually construct our new fire station out Quarter G. I believe it's station number 5. Right? Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions on this? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Sabol?
Yes.
Councilman Wolford?
Yes.
Councilman Hudson?
Yes.
Councilman Strider?
Yes.
Councilman Lilly?
Yes.
Councilman Reimer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Walker?
Yes.
Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Anything else, Jamie?
That's all this evening.
Thank you, sir. Department heads. Report of department heads. Anybody? Anybody have anything? Chief, I know you do. We get you last. Make sure everybody.
I'll let him go first.
Okay. Okay.
Sure?
You sure? Okay. Okay, Chief, floor is yours.
I want to say something first before we get started. We had 2 retirees from the police department pass away here within the last month. The day it snowed, we had Bill Fink's funeral, and very good turnout. Long funeral processional out to the Soldier Memorial up there at the Academy. It was incredible. It's one of the prettiest scenes I've seen. There was about 3 inches of snow on the ground, and it started snowing when they were doing the 21 gun salute and everything. It was just, it's memorable. I mean, it was beautiful. And you know, everybody knows Kathy, his widow. Kathy worked as my dog catcher, as a meter maid, as my secretary for a while. Kathy's a sweet lady.
Yes, she is.
She's up there. If anybody knows her, swing by and check on her. And then this past week, we had Ronnie Williams' funeral was too. He was a chief. He was here 28 years as well. They were chief from 84 to 90.
Yeah.
And,
He was chief when I was tax.
That's Jeff, ex-councilman Jeff Williamson's father, and it was a good ceremony. Good young priest. He did a real good job, and his weather was a little different. It was pouring the rain, and we went out there just behind, just out off Davis Creek out there to the gravesite too. It was two
fine
very
gentlemen.
fine guys.
Yep.
Had a
Two
lot
good
of-
guys.
contributed a lot to the South Charleston Police
Yep.
Department, a whole lot. So, and tonight we're retiring a gentleman. Lieutenant, come on up. Come up front here.
No way.
He's only 35.
I know.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Matt has been here almost 28, just shy a month.
I remember when he was hired.
It's hard to believe.
Yes, it is.
I'll tell my story. The first time I met him, I was driving my son to middle school, and I had a pair of gym shorts on, and a t-shirt, and no shoes, and just planned on going back to Dominion Way real quick. And we had a 6-car wreck there. It was the craziest thing in the world. One lady ran the stop sign, and it was all sports utilities. 2 ladies' windows got busted out. No kids got hurt. Thank God no kids were walking in between the traffic, but I guess I didn't know much about my car and it wouldn't start, so we had to tow it. It was probably something simple. If Gerald had been around, I could have figured out a button. But Matt drove me home, and we got to talk a little bit. And that was one of the first times. And the impression he made then was he was just such a nice guy, just down to earth, easy to talk to. And I tell you, the main thing I can say about him tonight is we're losing one of the politest, most professional guys. He cares about people, and he did that day in and day out. Never saw him lose his temper. Never heard him say a foul word. That's not something I can say. And he just, we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him. We had a little dinner for him, Tuesday night?
Yeah,
Tuesday night, and it was a great turnout. And we tried to surprise him as best we could, but he had started his new job, and he had a bunch of paperwork, and he wanted to stay home and get it done, but Reverend Thompson drug him out there. We're presenting him with a plaque for just almost shy of 28 years, and he's got his lieutenant's badge on it.
Thank you very much.
He started in April 28th of 1992, and he left this week. Also, state code, West Virginia State Code says if an officer retires in good standings, you present them their service revolver as well. So that's what we have in here, because Matt definitely retired in good standings.
He did.
Appreciate it.
And I want to keep him up here. Lieutenant Gordon's going to come up, and he's got either way, he can probably come up here, it don't matter. Does that work for you?
Yeah, he's fine, he's fine.
Okay.
You're not gonna roast him like you did the chief, are you?
I've known Lieutenant Arrowwood for about 14 years. I had the pleasure of working under him for 2 years on B shift. For those of you who don't know him, it's a lot like working with Andy Taylor from the Andy Griffith Show. It's easy to be Andy Taylor in Mayberry, but it's nearly impossible to be Andy Taylor in reality. But Lieutenant Arrowwood found a way to do so his entire career at the South Charleston Police Department. He's done this for 28 years. Lieutenant Arrowwood is not just a good police officer, but truly a good person. I've never actually heard him cuss. I've never seen him gossip. I've never even heard him badmouth a coworker. I actually never ever heard him say a bad thing about anyone with the exception of a few national politicians. And for the record, he was absolutely right about the politicians. He is not just a nice and courteous officer, but truly a nice person. I remember once when we were together as a shift, he told us about his brief stint as a used car salesman. We all laughed immediately when hearing this because without him saying anything else, we knew he was a terrible car salesman. Anyone who knows him knows that he's way too honest and nice for that profession. Our shift just sat there and pictured people leaving the dealership because he was honest with them about all the car's flaws. We could also just picture him getting yelled at by the owner of the dealership for selling cars below what he was supposed to sell them for. We all knew he wouldn't have it in him to charge anybody more than he absolutely needed to. He's that type of guy. And for the record, he also admitted he was a terrible salesman. He has never been the type of person who complains. He would always come to work and do what he was expected to do. He was never late. In fact, he was usually early. He didn't miss work often. He would come to work even with a headache or a cough. The kids or Susan would have to be really sick, or he would have to be seriously ill if he wasn't at work. He was always willing to help people out during his shift, and because of that, his officers tried to make him do as little as possible. Officers wouldn't allow him to do reports because of the respect and love they had for him, although occasionally he would still sneak a report past them and do it because that's the type of person he is. You could take the most problematic employee and put them with him. Others would complain or refuse to work with such an employee. But Lieutenant Arrowwood wouldn't gripe, and he would treat them the best he could and always made it work. There isn't a single person at this department who could say that Lieutenant Arrowwood has ever been anything but respectful and polite to them. Like most work environments, the South Charleston Police Department has things employees don't agree on. But I guarantee every employee at the police department would say that Lieutenant Arrowwood is the nicest officer they've worked with at the police department since the day he first started, 28 years ago. When police officers are telling stories about great cops, we often think about the obvious things like the largest drug seizure in the history of South Charleston, solving a major case, or being in a major pursuit. But the longer I spend in law enforcement, the more I've learned that there are other things that matter too. Being a police officer meant more than those things to Lieutenant Arrowwood. He is the textbook definition of a public servant. If you ever had a disabled vehicle in South Charleston in the past 28 years, there's a good chance Lieutenant Arrowwood stopped to help you. I don't think there was ever a disabled vehicle he didn't check on. Disabled vehicles typically aren't an exciting part of police work. They can often be viewed as a distraction for officers from doing other things. But an officer with a friendly smile stopping to help someone deal with stress and frustration of car trouble can really have a positive impact on that person's life and their attitude towards law enforcement from that point on. especially when that person is passed by so many others who didn't care enough to try to help in some way. I guarantee Lieutenant Airwood has had a positive effect on people by caring enough to stop and help. The longer I'm a police officer, the more I've learned to value this part of policing. Lieutenant Airwood would always take time to pass on important information to officers. It could be something that didn't happen in the city, the county, or the state, but if he felt one of our officers could be in danger for not being warned of it, he would write an email, sometimes a very lengthy email, just to make sure others were aware. I know many times that information he passed on ended up being valuable. He treated everyone with kindness. He always took care of his family. He's a devout Christian who walks the walk. He always conducted himself in a professional manner that should make the citizens of South Charleston proud he worked here and proud that he still lives here as a fellow citizen. Police departments are like most jobs in that people gossip and develop cliques. Lieutenant Airwood was never like that. He treated everyone the same. Again, I've never heard him say a bad thing about an officer here. He could always find a way to say something positive and encourage about anyone. Lieutenant Airwood showed his men how to be good people. He showed us how to be good husbands. He showed us how to be good fathers. He showed us how to be good to each other. I, for one, am going to miss our talks while we were washing our cruisers before monthly inspections. A lot of those were political talks about national politicians. And I know the South Charleston Police Department is going to miss him as well. I want to wish Susan, Will, Zane, and him well on the next chapter in their lives and let them know there will always be family at the South Charleston Police Department for them. Thank you.
Well said.
I remember, I'm feeling old. I remember when Matthew was like, okay, yeah, I feel old.
So nice.
I remember when he was hired.
I remember when Massey Circle.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I remember when the old Rambler rolled down the hill there.
yeah, right, my street, there we go, yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Yeah, congratulations.
Hey, he's got wife and kids in the back there too, they're sitting back there.
Congratulations all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Got me.
Okay. Sean beat that.
I can. We
You
have
wanted to go last.
we got the MSAC tournament starts tomorrow. It's tomorrow and Saturday. Instead of a one-day event, it's a two-day event now. And,
Night of Champions?
yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of 8 teams, it's actually 20 teams coming through now.
Oh, wow.
So it starts tomorrow.
Floor's down.
Okay.
Floor's down.
Just checking.
That's close. Yeah. And work has started at the ice arena, correct, Sean?
Yes.
Okay.
It started, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Y'all have any questions for Sean or anybody? Got any questions for any department heads? Yes.
I just want to commend our firefighters for a good job last Monday, this week. Had a substantial fire in our neighborhood and had quite a few obstacles to overcome to even gain entry into the home, but the owner was out, they got the pets out, the house done with no damage to any other structures, and they did a typical fine job.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, before we adjourn, we have a gentleman here that is running for Kanawha County Commission. I'd like to introduce himself. I apologize. We meant to put him on the agenda. Somehow it slipped through the cracks. If you don't mind, I'd like to give him an opportunity to go ahead and come on up and introduce yourself. Lance, you want to come up to the mic?
Certainly.
Sorry, I think it fell through the slip because Melanie was sick.
Thank you, Mayor Mullins, and thank you, City Council. My name is Lance Wheeler. I won't keep you all too long. I'm running for Kanawha County Commission. I'm from St. Albans. I hope you all won't hold that against me. My lovely wife, Jessica, is actually from Charleston. We're both locals to this county. And we just recently got married, and we actually just bought our forever home. That's what we call it. And, you know, as we move forward and wanting to stay in this area for the rest of our lives and raise our family, we wanted to make sure that we did everything in our part to have the best area for our children to grow up in. And to do that, as you all have done as well, you had to run for office. You have to get involved. And that's why I'm running for county commissioner. I want to be a county commissioner that is a great communicator. I want to be here. I want to talk with the municipalities. I want to come and speak with the city councilmen. And I want to hear from you. A lot of politicians, they come up to the stand, they tell you their great ideas and exactly what they're going to do. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here what we're calling a listening tour. I want to listen to you. I want to hear from you what's going on in your communities, in your city, in your county. And look at how the county commission can work with you all in creating the best environment for our communities. First thing I like to take an interest in is economic development. Economic development is an interesting topic, correct? Everyone wants to talk about how they will come here and bring jobs. It's a difficult task, and I'm well aware of that. My job is in sales, medical sales. And my job is to sell the product that I have in front of me as the best product that I know it is. And as county commissioner, that's what I'm going to do. Not only will I talk to businesses outside the state, but also inside the state, but also our local small businesses, of how we can create a better environment and sell the idea of bringing jobs back to this area. Second thing I'd like to do is I'd like to look at our drug issue. The drug issue is an epidemic that's affecting all classes of our communities. And what I think I can bring as a young individual is new ideas and a fresh perspective. The first thing I would do as county commissioner is I would sit down with our sheriff's office and I would look at new ideas of finding drug recovery that works for our citizens. I'm here to be the voice for all of Kanawha County. I'm here to be a voice for you, if I'm county commissioner, and I'm here to be a voice for your constituents. What I'm going to do for this entire election is I'm going to be coming to you. I'll be talking with you, and I'm going to be asking you questions, not dictating. So as county commissioner, I hope that I will be able to have a working relationship with you, and not just you, but all municipalities, and working together to make a bigger difference in our communities today. Thank you all very much. I don't want to keep your time. My name's Lance Wheeler. I'm running for county commissioner.
Anybody have any questions for Lance before he sits down? Thanks for coming, spend a little time with us, Lance. Appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Motion adjourned?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor? Adjourned. See you, Chuck.